Hello, my name is Leah McLaughlin. I'm the principal at Southern Elementary. This project was completed by Carrie Boyd, Kirsten Whitehouse, and myself as a requirement for the special ed law class at the University of Kentucky. If you have a child that is going through the special education referral process, you will find this presentation very informative. You may have several questions at the beginning of this process, including how your child was identified for the special ed referral. There are 3 ways that this could have happened. The first way is through child find, which the state of Kentucky must identify and locate and evaluate all children with suspected disabilities in the state or who can qualify for special ed services. Another way that this could have happened is through a referral done at the school level. A school professional may ask that a child be evaluated to see if he or she has a disability. Parental consent is needed before this child can be evaluated. And the last way that the referral process can start is a request by parents. You could have easily made contact with the child's teacher or other professionals at school to ask if your child could be evaluated. Now that we've identified that your child has a possible learning disability or disability at all and could need special education services, we move on to the evaluation process. Before we can do the evaluation process, we have to obtain parental consent. That is your permission, giving us the chance to assess your child in all of the areas related to the suspected disability. Once the evaluation is conducted, the results will be used to decide if eligibility pertains to your child. If you agree with our evaluation, we'll go forward with the process. If you disagree with the evaluation, you have the right to take your child for an independent evaluation, and you can even ask that the school system pay for that evaluation. Now that we've evaluated, the results will be determined, will help us determine whether or not your child is eligible for special services. If they are not eligible, this is where the process ends for you. If we do decide that your child is eligible, you have the right to disagree with the decision, and you can ask for a hearing that challenges the eligibility decision. If you agree with the eligibility determination, the next step would be to write the Individualized Education Plan, or what we call the IEP. The IEP has to be written within 30 calendar days after we determine eligibility, and it has to be done by a team. We'll talk about the team members in just a minute. This slide outlines how the IEP meeting is scheduled. Please take a minute to review the steps to ensure that we at the school level are carrying out our obligations. You may have questions or want more information about the IEP. You can click on the link below, which will bring up a brochure from the Kentucky Department of Education. This brochure outlines the different parts of the IEP. It defines the IEP, the meeting requirements, and how the IEP is actually developed. Once the IEP meeting is scheduled, a team has to assemble to help put the IEP together. This slide explains who will be present at the meeting. Please notice that the student is invited to participate in the IEP development if it is appropriate. Regular education teachers will be invited, school system representatives, service agencies, parents, others that have expertise about the child, someone who can interpret the evaluation results, and the specially designed instruction teachers, special ed teachers. At the meeting to develop the IEP, you will receive a great deal of information regarding what will be included in the IEP. This slide explains the components of the IEP. These bullets will further be explained during the process of creating the IEP. All of the components will be documented on a form outlined below. This is the official IEP form that Fayette County will use to create the IEP. You will receive a copy of the completed IEP for your records. During the IEP meeting, you have several rights as a parent. If you agree to the IEP, your child begins receiving services as soon as possible. If you don't agree or don't give consent, you can ask for mediation or you can ask for a due process hearing. Before, during, and after the IEP meeting, you may have several questions. This brochure can be accessed by clicking the following link, and it will provide you more information in terms of what happens during, before, and after the IEP meeting. After the IEP meeting and your consent, services begin for specially designed instruction for your child. You will be given a copy of the IEP. Each of the child's teachers and service providers have access to the IEP and knows what the responsibilities are for carrying that out. And then we at Southern make sure that the IEP is carried out as written. On top of the educational goals and services and the specially designed instruction, and depending on eligibility, your child may receive related services. Some of the related services are listed on this slide. When your child begins receiving specially designed instruction and services, his or her progress will be monitored, measured, and reported to you. To determine if your child is making progress toward IEP goals, the team will meet at least annually to review the IEP. It can be revised by parents and the team. If it comes to a point where you don't agree with the revisions or the placement decisions, you can request additional testing, independent evaluations, mediation, or due process. Or you can file a complaint with KDE. If your child continues to receive specially designed instruction, he or she is reevaluated every 3 years. The purpose of this reevaluation is to find out if the child continues to be a child with disability and what the specific educational needs are. The child can be reevaluated more often, but it has to be requested by the parent or the teacher. We hope you found this presentation to be informative. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us here at Southern Elementary. Thank you.